Hi there, my name is Tyler McGee, and for our Conceptual Framework project, I decided to choose the school that I currently work at for researching, and that is Kern Middle School in Council Bluffs. Kern Middle School is located on the northeast side of Council Bluffs, and we serve a little over 1,000 students, grades K through 8. Here on the slideshow, you can see that I have included some information about the demographics that we have at Kern Middle School. And I thought it was important to point out that although 55% of students qualify for free or reduced lunch at Kern, um, the Council Bluffs Schools has been fortunate enough where we have secured a grant the last few years where we are able to provide free lunch and breakfast for 100% of our students. And so that's just a great thing that we're able to offer to our students and to our families as well. The next slide that I have here, I have included the mission statement of the Council Bluffs Community School District. Now, one of the big things that the Council Bluffs School District has been pushing in the last few years is our Diploma Plus One initiative. And the idea behind this is that eventually we want 100% of our high school graduates to graduate not only with a high school diploma, but with some other piece of paper as well. So the Council Bluffs Schools has partnered with Iowa Western Community College, and we've been working to provide post-secondary opportunities for high schoolers who qualify. And so that way we can get more and more students graduating high school with an associate's degree or some sort of trade degree where they are in a better position going forward after they graduate from high school. And so that's really what our mission statement is all about, is really working to make sure that we have responsible citizens who are prepared for the workforce going forward. And that's really what we strive to do at Kern Middle School as well. Um, Going along with our mission statement, our three goals that we have for our students at Kern include that all students will either meet or exceed the state proficiency standards in all core class areas. Each student will meet or exceed expected growth targets on state assessments. And finally, 100% of students will graduate and demonstrate the knowledge, skills, and attributes to successfully transition to post-secondary education or a career. Again, coming back to what I said earlier with our new initiative that we've been pushing, that really is what we want for students. Even at the middle school level, we want students to begin thinking about those things because after they leave us in the eighth grade, those post-secondary opportunities come very, very quickly in Council Bluffs schools because of the opportunities that we're able to provide them. The next slide I wanted to focus on was Kern Middle School's curriculum requirements. So all students K through 8 are required to take year-long core classes. So of course that includes language arts, math, science, and social studies. And for our school, that actually also includes physical education and Spanish. Students are also able to choose up to 3 elective courses that may change at the semester. And so they are really able to kind of explore some of the things that they are maybe more interested in and maybe have some fun with some of those things and explore some of those things like engineering. And we have a class called Game of Life that students really seem to enjoy, Genius Hour, and more classes that they're able to choose from. I also wanted to include that Kern Middle School is an international baccalaureate school, and IB really encourages students to act locally and think globally. So all eighth graders are actually required to complete a community project before they can leave us and eventually go on to high school. And so that's really just another way that we're kind of carrying out our mission of making a difference in our community and helping our students to be better prepared for the real world. The next thing I wanted to make sure that I included were the different departments that we have at Kern Middle School. Grade level content areas have a PLC that meets twice a week. Of course, during those PLC meetings, teams are getting together and they're planning lessons. They're creating common formative assessments. They're grading assessments. They're going over rubrics together, all types of things to be able to provide students with the best quality instruction that we can. The next department that meets on a regular basis is our student support, and they meet once a week with each of our 9 teams. And so This team is going to include an administrator. It's going to include a counselor. It's going to include our graduation coach, and really, just the entire team's coming together to help support students in every way that we can. A couple more teams that we have that meet on a regular basis include our vertical content teams that meet once a month. This helps us to keep the big picture in mind when it comes to our content. So sixth grade, seventh grade, and eighth grade teachers will meet once a month in common content teams to make sure that they are aligned and make sure that they are building on skills and knowledge, and making sure that we're not overlapping things, and just making sure that we are all on the same page with what we want students to eventually accomplish in our content areas. And finally, our lead team, or our SIP team, meets once a month in order to keep those big picture items in the front of our mind. And the leadership team communicates those things with the rest of the school building to make sure that everybody is working and reminded of those big picture items that we are continuing to work on at school. The next thing I wanted to focus on was what a sixth grade PLC agenda might look like. So I am a sixth grade social studies teacher, and so I wanted to show what our PLC agenda kind of looks like. As you can see here, this is our first unit. And so here at the top, we kind of have our values or our norms for our meetings. And as you can see here in bold, one of the biggest things, or the most important thing that we try to do, is we make sure that we are student-centered and we always do what is best for children. And really, that's something that we try to keep in the forefront of our mind when planning and planning assessments and making lesson plans. And all of those things is making sure that we are doing what is best for our students. The other thing that I wanted to show you was our curriculum maps. So these are tools that we use to help provide instruction for students. And when we are developing lesson plans, this is what we use. We have our big idea items. We have our compelling question items, along with standards that go along with each one of our units. And this really helps us to keep that, again, that big picture in mind when going through and planning our assessments and planning our everyday lesson plans with our students, and again, doing what is best for students. So these are just a couple of the tools that we use to really help plan our instruction and really meet the needs of our students that we have at Kern Middle School. Moving right along here, this is a visual that I created for the Council Bluffs School District. At the very top, I have our district mission, which I shared earlier. Like I said, it is really the goal of all of us throughout the Council Bluffs schools that we really work to prepare our students for the 21st century and put them in the best possible position that they can be in order to be successful beyond high school and into their careers. And so that's really, I wanted to make sure that I put that at the very top of the pyramid, because I think that's the thing that shines the brightest, and that's eventually what we want to kind of work our way up to. Going down from there, of course, we have our school goal for our students. That, of course, supports our district mission. And if we are accomplishing those goals that we have for students, then chances are we are going to be living out our mission. The next thing that I have down there is, of course, is our curriculum. Our curriculum is what helps to support our student goals, and that's what helps guide our instruction that we have for students at Kern Middle School. And then finally, fourth and fifth, I felt like these were the bottom ones, because this is kind of the everyday stuff that teachers and administrators and counselors are doing in order to support our students and eventually to support our district and mission. We are working with student support, and then grade level PLCs are also working together to make sure that students are supported and make sure that they are receiving the best quality education that they can get at Council Bluffs schools. And like I said, again, just to reiterate what I've been saying, that eventually living out that district mission of making sure that all students are prepared for a post-secondary education or a career. Finally, I have my references. The two websites that I used were our Kern Middle School homepage and then the Council Bluffs Community School District homepage as well. I hope you have enjoyed this and have a great rest of your day.